He smirked and said, "You're lucky I even date you. Women like you don't get men like me." I didn't argue. I just watched him book a luxury trip using my card. That night, I quietly canceled everything and made one phone call. The next morning, when he walked into the airport and saw who was waiting for him at the counter, he didn't take another step. "My name is Sarah. I'm 31, and I'd been dating Victor for 8 months when everything fell apart. We met at a mutual friend's art gallery opening. He was handsome, polished, worked in fashion PR. I'm a software engineer. I make decent money, but nothing outrageous. From the start, he made it clear he was dating down by being with me. I thought he was joking. It turns out he meant every word. The relationship had a pattern. He'd comment on my clothes being basic, my apartment being cute but small, my friends being nice but not really our caliber. I brushed it off as him having high standards. My friend Marcus said Victor was using me. I said Marcus didn't understand him. Looking back, I was an idiot. The breaking point came last Tuesday. Victor had been talking about wanting to go to Santorini for weeks. "All my friends have been," he'd say. "I'm the only one who hasn't gone. It's embarrassing." He'd send me links to luxury hotels, restaurants, sunset cruises. Each link was a reminder that I hadn't booked anything yet. Tuesday afternoon, Victor came over to my apartment. I was working from home, in the middle of debugging some code, when he walked in with his laptop. "We need to talk about Greece," he said, setting up at my kitchen table. "Can it wait? I'm kind of in the middle of something." "No, it can't wait. I want to go in 2 weeks. Sophie and Mike just posted photos from their trip, and it looked incredible. I need to go before summer's over." I closed my laptop. 2 weeks is really short notice. I don't know if I can get the time off. "Then I'll go alone, but you're still paying." "Excuse me?" He looked up from his screen. "You heard me. You're paying for my trip. It's the least you can do, after making me wait this long." "Victor, I never said I'd pay for a trip to Greece that costs thousands of dollars. And you make good money." "You just don't spend it on anything worthwhile," he said. "I spend mine on experiences. You spend yours on bills and savings and boring stuff. Meanwhile, I'm stuck dating someone who won't even take me on a proper vacation. Do you know how embarrassing that is? My friends ask where we've traveled, and I have to say nowhere. We went to Napa. A weekend wine tasting," he said. "That doesn't count." He turned his laptop toward me. "Look, 5 nights at this resort, round-trip business class tickets, daily spa credits. It's only $12,000. "Only $12,000? "Yes, only." "Is that for both of us, or just you?" "Just me if you can't get the time off. Either way, I'm going. I'm not paying for a $12,000 trip." He laughed. Not a friendly laugh. A dismissive, condescending one. "Yes, you are, because you're lucky I even date you. Women like you don't get men like me. You know that, right?" I stared at him. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I'm out of your league. I could be dating guys who'd book this trip without blinking. But I chose you because I thought you were sweet and stable. The least you can do is treat me the way I deserve." "By spending $12,000? "Yes, exactly." He pushed the laptop closer. "Now stop being difficult and give me your card. I'll book everything." Something in me snapped. Not into anger, into clarity. I pulled out my wallet, took out my credit card, and handed it to him. "Really?" He looked surprised. "Yeah, book whatever you want." His whole demeanor changed. He smiled, kissed my cheek, and started typing rapidly. "You won't regret this. We're going to have such an amazing time." "Or I am if you can't come," he said lightly. "Either way, thank you, baby." I watched him book the flights. Business class, just like he wanted. I watched him book the resort, 5 nights in a suite with an infinity pool. I watched him add spa packages, private dinner cruises, wine tastings, all the extras he'd been dreaming about. The total came to $14,247.53. He hit confirm without flinching. "There, all done. I'm so excited." He closed his laptop. "I need to go shopping for new outfits. This calls for celebration. Want to take me to dinner?" "Not tonight. I have work to finish." "Okay, I'll text you later." He kissed me again and left, practically floating. I sat at my kitchen table for about 10 minutes, just processing. Then I opened my laptop and made some calls. First call, my credit card company. "Hi, I need to dispute a charge. Someone used my card without permission." "Yes, I'd hold." The amount was $14,247.53 to a travel booking site. Yes, I knew the person who made the charge. No, I did not authorize it. Right. I gave him the physical card, but did not consent to that specific amount. The representative was helpful. They flagged it as fraud, started a dispute, and issued me a new card number. The original card was canceled immediately. Second call, the resort in Santorini. Hello, I need to cancel a reservation. I read off the confirmation number from the email Victor had been CC'd on. Yes, I understood there was a cancellation fee, no refund, even though it was 2 weeks out. Okay. What if the credit card is declined? I see. The reservation gets automatically canceled. Thank you. Third call, the airline. Same process. No refund, but if the charge doesn't go through, the tickets get canceled automatically. I spent the rest of the evening working, ordering takeout, acting like everything was normal. Victor texted me around 8 with a photo of shopping bags. Got so many cute outfits for the trip. Can't wait. Looks great, I replied. That night, the charges started reversing. The credit card company moved fast, flagged as fraudulent. All pending transactions were declined or reversed. Victor's entire trip, purchased on what was now a canceled card number, began systematically falling apart. I didn't sleep well, not from guilt, from anticipation. I knew tomorrow would be interesting. Update 1. Wednesday morning. Victor's flight was scheduled for 6 a.m. He'd texted me Tuesday night, saying he was getting up at 3:30 to head to the airport, that he was too excited to sleep. I woke up at 5:30, made coffee, and waited. The call came at 6:47 a.m. Sarah, what the hell did you do? Good morning to you too. Don't good morning me. My flights are canceled. The resort has no record of my reservation. What is going on? Sounds like the charges didn't go through. The charges? You approved them. You gave me your card. I gave you my card, I said. I didn't give you permission to spend $14,000. Yes, you did. You watched me book everything. I watched you book things. I didn't agree to let you keep them. There's a difference. You're insane. You can't just cancel someone's trip. Actually, I can. It's my money and my card. I disputed the charges as fraud. Fraud? He laughed sharply. I'm your boyfriend. Are you? Because boyfriends generally don't tell their partners they're lucky to be dating them. They don't say women like you don't get men like me while demanding $14,000 vacations. There was silence on the line, then quieter. I was joking. No, you weren't. You meant every word. And that was the moment I finally said it out loud. You meant every word, I said. And you know what? You're right. Women like me don't get men like you. Because women like me have self-respect and men like you are users. How dare you, he snapped. I'm done, Victor. We're done. Don't contact me again. You can't break up with me over this, he said. I'm at the airport. Then I guess you should go home, I said calmly. Maybe call one of those guys you could have been dating instead. See if they'll book you a trip. Sarah, please, he said, his voice cracking. I'm sorry. I didn't mean what I said yesterday. Save it. I'm blocking your number after this call. Have a nice life. I hung up, blocked his number, blocked him on every social media platform I had, and then forwarded the entire text chain to my friend Marcus, along with a summary of what happened, just in case Victor tried to spin the story to our mutual friends. Here's the truth, I wrote. Marcus replied almost immediately. Holy hell, good for you. At 7:15, I got a call from an unknown number. I didn't answer. It went to voicemail. Sarah, it's Victor, his voice said. I'm calling from someone else's phone. Please pick up. We need to talk about this. You can't just leave me stranded at the airport. Please call me back. I deleted the voicemail. At 8:30, Lily, the mutual friend who had introduced us, called. Sarah, what happened? She asked. Victor just called me crying, saying you canceled his trip and broke up with him at the airport. That's not exactly how it went down, I said. Do you want the real version? I told her everything. The comments Victor had been making for months. The, you're lucky I even date you line. The $14,000 trip he booked without asking. The cancellation. Lily was quiet for a moment. Jesus, I had no idea he was like that. Most people didn't, I said. He hid it well. I'm so sorry, she said. I wouldn't have introduced you if I'd known. It's not your fault, I said. But maybe don't introduce him to anyone else. Oh, I won't, she said. Wow, are you okay? I'm fine, I said, and I realized it was true. Actually, I'm great. For the first time in months, I feel like I can breathe. Update 2. The rest of Wednesday was quiet. I worked from home, had a normal day, and didn't hear from Victor because I'd blocked him everywhere. But I did hear from other people. Marcus told me Victor had posted on social media about being betrayed by someone he trusted and being stranded at an airport because of a cruel prank. The comments were split. People who knew him well enough to be skeptical, and people who didn't know the full story and were sympathizing with him. Marcus commented, maybe share the part where you told her she was lucky to date you right before booking a $14,000 trip on her card without asking. That comment was deleted within minutes. Marcus got blocked. Thursday morning, Victor's mother called me. I'd met her twice, both awkward family dinners, where Victor spent most of the time correcting her stories or making pointed comments about her middle-class lifestyle. "Sarah, this is Patricia," she said. "Victor's mother. I'm calling to see if we can resolve this situation." "There's nothing to resolve," I said. "Victor said you two had a disagreement, and you overreacted by canceling his trip. I'm sure if we all sit down and talk—" "Mrs. Harrison," I interrupted gently, "did Victor tell you what he said to me before booking the trip?" "He said he made a comment you took the wrong way." "He told me I was lucky to date him," I said, "that women like me don't get men like him, that he could be dating people who'd book the trip without blinking, but he chose me because I was stable. Then he demanded my credit card to book a $14,000 trip I never agreed to." There was silence on the line. "That doesn't sound like something Victor would say," she said finally. "He said it," I replied, "and he meant it." "I'm sorry," she said slowly. "Your son has been using me for 8 months to fund a lifestyle he can't afford," I said. "I'm done being used." "But to leave him stranded at an airport—" "He wasn't stranded," I said. "He could have taken an Uber home. He chose to make it dramatic." Mrs. Harrison sighed. "I'm going to have a conversation with my son. I apologize for his behavior." "Thank you," I said, "but I'm not interested in reconciliation. We're done." Friday evening, I got a long email from Victor. It had clearly been written and rewritten, formal, almost like a business proposal. "Dear Sarah," it began, "I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to reach out to apologize for my behavior earlier this week. Upon reflection, I realized that my comments were inappropriate and hurtful. I did not mean to imply that you are not worthy of my affection. I value our relationship and the time we have spent together." He went on to request a meeting to discuss reconciliation, promised to work on how he expressed himself, and suggested we discuss the financial aspect of the trip, noting that canceling everything had been an extreme reaction that cost us both money. He proposed planning a more affordable trip in the future. I read it twice. Then I replied, "Victor, thank you for your email. I appreciate the apology, but I'm not interested in reconciliation. Your comments reflected your true feelings, and I believe people when they show me who they are. Regarding the financial aspect, you spent my money without permission after insulting me. I disputed the charges as fraud because that's what it was. The only person who lost money is me, through non-refundable fees. You lost nothing except the trip you tried to take on my dime. I wish you well, but please don't contact me again. Sarah." I didn't hear back. Update 3. It's been 3 weeks. Victor tried to contact me twice more, once through a mutual acquaintance, asking if I'd be willing to talk, once by showing up at my apartment building. The doorman called up. I told him to send Victor away. Lily told me Victor's been telling people I emotionally abused him by dangling a luxury trip in front of him and then cruelly ripping it away. Some people believe his version. The people who know me know better. I've been doing well. Better than well. I've been going out more with friends I neglected while dating Victor. I even started dating someone new. I met him at a coffee shop. He's a teacher. His name is Ethan. On our first date, he insisted on splitting the bill. It was a small thing, but it meant everything. Marcus asked me last week if I felt bad about the way I ended things with Victor. Honestly, I said, no. He showed me exactly who he was. I just finally believed him. "You think the airport thing was too harsh?" Marcus asked. "Maybe," I said. But he stood in my kitchen and told me I was lucky to be with him. He booked a $14,000 trip on my card without asking. He treated me like an ATM with a pulse. "Fair point," Marcus said. "I ran into Victor yesterday at a grocery store. We made eye contact across the produce section. He looked like he wanted to say something. I grabbed my apples and walked away. Some conversations aren't worth having." Final update. It's been 2 months. I've completely moved on. Dating Ethan has been refreshingly drama-free. He pays for himself. He respects my time and my money. He treats me like an equal partner. It's night and day compared to Victor. I heard through Lily that Victor's dating someone new, a woman he met through work who apparently does have money to throw around. Good for him. I hope he's happy. I hope she knows what she's getting into. The thing about people who tell you you're lucky to have them is that they really believe it. They think they're doing you a favor by being with you. And maybe for some people, that's enough. It's not for me. I'd rather be alone than be with someone who thinks my worth is measured by how much I'm willing to fund their lifestyle. Victor taught me something valuable. When someone tells you they're too good for you, believe them. Not because they're right, but because anyone who thinks that way will never treat you as an equal. They'll always be looking for what they can get from you, never for what they can build with you. The airport cancellation might have been petty. It might have been harsh, but it was also honest. He spent 8 months treating me like a wallet with emotions. I gave him one last reminder that I'm a person with boundaries. Sometimes the best revenge isn't elaborate. It's just refusing to be used anymore. Edit. For people asking if I could get in legal trouble for the fraud dispute, no. I gave him the card, yes, but under the impression he was booking something reasonable. $14,000 without discussion or permission is far beyond implied consent. The credit card company agreed. Case closed. Edit 2. Yes, I know I could have just said no when he asked for the card. You're right, I should have. But part of me wanted to see how far he'd go. And he went $14,247.53 far. That told me everything I needed to know. Edit 3. To the people saying I led him on by giving him the card. He led himself on by assuming my silence was consent. I gave him rope. He wrapped it around his own expectations. I'm not responsible for managing someone else's entitlement when they spent months managing mine into submission. That's the part people miss. This didn't start at the airport. It didn't even start at my kitchen table. It started the first time he made a joke about me being lucky. The first time I laughed it off. The first time I stayed quiet instead of pushing back. I didn't cancel a trip out of nowhere. I canceled a future where I kept shrinking myself to afford someone else's ego. And I'd make the same choice again.